Hello and welcome back to another episode of Main Event Wrestling, and once again we're back with WWF Smackdown. Just bring it. But here we are with a King of the Ring, a special King of the Ring, a extreme King of the Ring. So every match is going to have a different stipulation, and here is the bracket. We've got Eddie Guerrero Tajiri in our opening match, Stephen Richards versus Ivory, right to centre going to war, even though Ivory does not wear her RTC outfit in this game. Then Kurt Angle versus Lita, and Dean Malenko versus Jeff Hardy. Now, I'm not going to be playing any of these matches. These are going to be completely simmed because I want to see who the computer thinks is worthy enough to be crowned king or queen. So, without further ado, in our opening match, we've got Eddie Guerrero versus Tajiri. I have no idea what the match is going to be, so we shall find out now. So, our opening contest, Eddie Guerrero and Tajiri, is a street fight. Yes, it is, boys and girls. Now, who remembers Eddie Guerrero and Tajiri being tag team champions back in 2003? If memory serves me correctly, Los Guerreros were in the middle of feuding with World's Greatest Tag Team, Team Angle, Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas. And whilst as champions, Chavo Guerrero got himself injured and Eddie needed a tag team partner, so he went ahead and went with Tajiri and ended up participating in an absolute banger of a ladder match where Eddie and Tajiri retained the titles, or won the titles, I forget which one it was, from World's Greatest Tag Team, Team Angle. I mean, it's just one of them moments that you don't really see happening in WWE, really. And at the moment, this match isn't exactly too extreme, like there's been very little weapons used, but you never know, we might get something in the crowd or someone might decide to go underneath the ring. No weapons so far. Okay, so this is not exactly the most extreme match in the world to begin with. But hey, you know, we're getting something good out of it. I mean, at least the AI is actually responding and doing something good at the moment by actually making it look like a competitive contest. But yeah, Eddie Guerrero Tajiri, you know, they were a tag team, and it was one of them weird moments where a tag team partner gets injured and then someone's like, I'll be your partner, and then they just, you know, team up forever. You know, happened recently with Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville got injured and she was subsequently replaced by Piper Niven, you know, before losing the women's tag team titles to Katana Chance and Kaden, which is awesome. But yeah, like, no one expected Piper to literally just walk in and be like, I'm your tag team partner now. And it's like, okay. But hey, you know, Chelsea needed a tag team partner. But one thing actually I just want to give a quick shout out to is Chelsea herself. I mean, Chelsea Green, when she made a return and obviously got eliminated almost straight away, it was a case of like everyone was like, oh my god, they're burying Chelsea Green already. And she's actually been one of the most entertaining, got a cover, 2 count, but she's actually been one of the most entertaining women to watch on the roster. So you know what, full props to you. But yes, we're supposed to be focusing on Eddie and Tajiri. Tajiri, former, what did he win? United States champion, light heavyweight champion. Did he win the light heavyweight title? I know he won the cruiserweight title on multiple occasions. I know he won the tag team belts as well. Absolute legend, former ECW alumni. And, you know, that's... Oh wow, we actually got to see the mist. I thought it was just going to be one of them animations where it's like, oh, we're supposed to just make believe it's there. You know, and, you know, great... Oh, here we go. Going in for the... Wow, that is an elaborate finish. But Tajiri just absolutely no-sold that. Wow. But yeah, great sidekick to William Regal as well. And I always loved the fact that apparently Tajiri and Regal did not get along at all. Like, on camera, they were hilarious and they just got everything right. But then, apparently behind the scenes, yeah, they just honestly disliked each other. Are one of these two gonna grab a weapon? This is supposed to be a street fight, you know? The closest thing that we've had to a no DQ kind of stipulation is, you know, the fact that there wasn't any, you know, rope break or anything during a pin. I mean, don't get me wrong, I also love the fact that Tajiri just absolutely no-sold Eddie's finisher. Well, this now looks like it could go in Tajiri's favour unless Eddie decides to, you know, somehow get Tajiri to submit or, you know, actually get a pin on him. Tajiri just loves no-selling, but yeah, again, this game just loved the whole no-selling idea. Eddie with a nice little suplex. How long did some of these animations go on for? Because I know some people have noticed that certain animations in the 2K games have been used throughout the entire, like, Smackdown run, you know, since the first game was released back in March 2000. Yeah, March 2000. Oh, 1, 2. Ooh, getting closer. Getting closer. But Tajiri's almost got a finish. I mean, this has been already, but... And Tajiri... Buzzsaw kick! Is he going to go for a pin, or is he going to muck it up? No. No, apparently he doesn't want to win. Tajiri seems to have forgotten the rules of wrestling. Nope, apparently Tajiri does not want to win. And we just got another miss, and... Alright, Tajiri, come on. Wow. Didn't think I'd be seeing this. No selling and just basically forgetting the rules of wrestling, you know. Or, like, you know, the dynamics of how it works. Got a surprise roll up. Ooh, another 2 count. Definitely getting closer. Definitely getting closer. Snap suplex there. Drop toe hold. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to get through. And then have them face either Stevien Richards, the leader of Right to Center, or Ivory. Eddie's almost up to Smackdown again. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would like Eddie to go through. Right. What the hell is the referee doing? Pushing him, like, you know, miles and miles away. Oh, I always liked that move. I always thought it was cool. And there we go. Eddie gets the win. So Eddie Guerrero gets the victory in our opening contest, and he will face either Stevien Richards or Ivory. So, who is Eddie going to face in the next round? Let's get into it. This is a Falls Count Anywhere match, as you can see, with them starting off... God, is that the boiler room? I think that might be the boiler room. It's part of the backstage area. But yeah, Stephen, Ivory, this is the battle of our right to censor. So if we put our storytelling thinking cap on, let's just say that in this period of time, in 2001, right to censor are still a dealing, they're still a thing. But Stevien Richards is basically one of the last surviving members, because Ivory has walked. Because keep in mind, Stevien Richards and Ivory were, as a unit, quite close. You know, so Ivory has walked away, and Stevien Richards is basically pissed about it, and that's why Ivory is in her traditional wrestling outfit. And Stevien Richards still maintains the very, very right to censor look. Now, because this is Falls Count Anywhere, obviously it began right here, wherever this may be backstage. So I was a little actually upset that I couldn't hear the right to censor music, because it's annoying but also brilliant because it does the job that it needs to. Like, you hear that music straight away, you're like, good God, this is literally the worst thing in existence, or the worst piece of music. But it's got a very subtle beat behind it if you actually listen really carefully. Is Ivory just continuously taunting like William Regal? I'm pretty sure she is. Ivory is a WWE Hall of Famer as well. Congratulations to her. She is indeed a legend. It's just a shame that, I mean, if she had been able to wrestle in her prime, you know, with either her right to censor character or, you know, whatever character that she had before or after, you know, with her wrestling ability, I actually think she'd be pretty decent in today's women's wrestling climate in WWE. I think she would be quite successful. Would she be at the top? No, because obviously you still got wrestlers like Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch to really, you know, kind of get past. She'd be kind of like middle of the road, occasionally popping in for like a title match here and there. Probably, yeah, you know, probably something like that. But yeah, you know, I think she would be semi-successful. Yeah, semi-successful is probably the best way to put it. Right. Oh, ooh, big suplex on the stairs. Steven Richards is a legend in his own right. Obviously, everyone remembers the BWO, and everybody remembers Right to Censor, the most annoying group in the world. But Nate, wait, got to cover 1, 2. Ooh, go on, Ivory, cause an upset. But you know, they were an answer to, you know, loads of protest groups. Basically saying that WWE's product at the time was damaging the youth of America, or whatever it was. You know, obviously a lot of censors and what have you were getting involved and were like, we don't like this, and WWE were like, okay, you don't like this, so here's Right to Censor, we're going to push them as the most annoying group in the world. And you know, it was smart because they also took certain controversial figures who were on the roster at the time, you know, like the Godfather, who's a pimp, and made him the Good Father. You know, they took Bull Buchanan and gave him, you know, the biggest smile on his face at WrestleMania 17 because, you know, he got to perform at WrestleMania again with literally the biggest and goofiest smile in the world. Wow, that is the weirdest looking pimp. You know, and then finally had Val Venus, whose, you know, gimmick originally was that of a porn star. And, you know, he still had the Val Venus name, but, you know, he reformed into, you know, a, you know, yeah, basically whatever he was. And obviously, we can't forget his rivalry with China, Ivory's rivalry with China, which, you know, subsequently led to Ivory losing the women's title at WrestleMania 17. Right, so if one of you two can, well, if the both of you can get off the stairs, there we go. I mean, at the moment, we could be looking at a huge upset, and that is something that I would love it if Ivory was to have done that in real life. If that could have gone all of the way. Oh, wait, no. Sit out powerbomb. Stevie wins. So Steven Richards beat his fellow Right to Censor cohort, or if we're using our imagination camps, former Right to Censor cohort, Ivory, to face Eddie Guerrero in the semi-finals. But up next, it's Kurt Angle and Lita. Who's going to win this and potentially face either Dean Malenko or Jeff Hardy in the semi-final? Let's find out. Kurt Angle and Lita going at it. This is hardcore rules, and it's great to actually see them utilize some weapons to begin with. Kurt Angle, the first Olympic gold medalist to get into the world of professional wrestling, you know, winning the gold medal in 1996. One thing he would never ever be able to let you forget. And Lita, Hall of Famer, legend, trailblazer. God, I love you, Lita. I'm going to stop swooning. But yes, two Hall of Famers going at it in this hardcore match here in my Extreme King of the Ring. And at the moment, it seems like, you know, if you were to put your money on this, you easily say Kurt Angle. Now, don't get me wrong, I would love for there to be, like, you know, a bit of an upset. That would be lovely, you know, because Kurt Angle, arguably in this entire bracket, is the only main event level star in it. I mean, like, yes, you know, Jeff Hardy would go on to become a main event player in WWE, you know, going on to win the World Heavyweight and WWE Championship. You know, Eddie Guerrero would become a main event player, first of all due to his participation as part of the Smackdown 6, as well as winning the WWE Championship from one, you know, Brock Lesnar at No Way Out in 2004. That is still one of the most heartwarming moments in professional wrestling history. But we're going to go back to 2001, about 2001, when I started really getting into WWE and wrestling itself. Like, I actually really disliked Kurt Angle, because obviously you had all of these cool characters. You had The Rock, you had Stone Cold, you had Triple H, you know, these Chris Jericho, you know, you had the Hardy Boys, you had all of these cool characters, Undertaker, Kane. God, and that roster was so stacked. But then you had someone like Kurt Angle, who was preaching to you the three I's: intensity, integrity, and intelligence, you know. And, you know, he was saying that he was a freaking Olympic gold medalist, that he did it with a broken freaking neck, you know. And when you see him beat The Rock and the giant, you know, bogey sticking out of his nose as well, you know, it just kind of like blows your mind a little bit. You're just like, no, this is like the last person. But the more when you actually look at how things went for Kurt, you know, he was somewhat destined for greatness. Now, could he have had like a bigger career than what he had? You know what, I think regardless of his personal issues that he suffered from for many years, I think his career was nothing but perfect. I mean, do I want him to have one more last match to kind of erase the fact that Baron Corbin was his last match, and it was like 6 minutes at WrestleMania, and it really was not that good, because it was evident that Kurt couldn't really hang. But it's a shame. But at the same time, Kurt Angle had like a perfect career. He was destined for greatness. Vince saw greatness in him, and Angle's going straight in with that ankle lock as soon as taking Lita down. Is she going to give up? Nope, she ain't giving up, but Angle looks like he's going for a pin. 1, 2, 3. Kurt's through. So after Kurt Angle's victory, he will be facing either Dean Malenko or Jeff Hardy, who's going to meet Angle in the semi-finals. Let's find out. So this match is Falls Count Anywhere, and we are starting in the exact same location that Steven Richards and Ivory started in. Dean Malenko, absolute human legend. What a legend of the business. You know, the man of 1,000 holds, the Iceman, the, you know, apparent playboy that he was in WWE at one point, you know, after the Radicals kind of like slowly disbanded and, you know, nobody really gave a shit anymore. You know, he only won the light heavyweight championship in WWE, if I'm not mistaken. Multiple time cruiserweight champion. I think he won the TV title in WCW. Or the US title, I forget which one, if not both. You know, and obviously absolute legend in ECW as well, had that amazing match with Eddie Guerrero in ECW as well as part of their last match. Now, if I wanted someone to win from this, I'm going to say Jeff Hardy, because Jeff Hardy was, in this time period, 2000-2001, was a hero of mine. He was, I mean, like, the Hardys were just cool. Let's just, you know, face facts. They were just cool. You know, young kids taking risks, you know, and they had alternative looks. Jeff with like the rainbow dyed hair, you know, always changing the armbands that they wore and stuff like that. Like, you know, as I keep saying, they were just cool. You know, and Jeff went on to have an incredible career in WWE, winning the title, winning the WWE Championship once, World Heavyweight twice, 4 or 5 time, maybe even 6, Intercontinental Champion, European Champion, Hardcore Champion, Light Heavyweight Champion, multiple time Tag Team Champion as well. And I got to see their return to WWE at WrestleMania back in 2017 when they won the Raw Tag Team Championships in that Fatal 4-Way ladder match. God, I will never forget that pop. 75,000 people there, you know, and genuinely, like, the pop was amazing. It was just nothing short of incredible. And at the moment, this is all Dean Malenko. I have a feeling Dean's going to walk with this one, because Jeff's barely got a look in. I mean, if you have a look at the difference, and here we go. So here comes the Texas Cloverleaf. Yes, if memory serves me correctly. Oh, Jeff just no-sold it. Looks like he wants a bit more of a beating. Looks like none of my heroes are going to be going far in this. But yeah, you know, I got to see that return from the Hardys, you know, being in the audience, New Day coming out, and they're saying that the ladder match is now turned into a fatal 4-way, you know, and they're just like, who could this tag team be? And they're all dressed in their, you know, in their wrestling gear and everything, and it looks like it's going to be 2 of the New Day. And here we go. Oh, kick out at 2. You know, it looks like it's going to be 2 of the New Day, and the next thing you know, you just hear the Hardys music, and 75,000 people just pop in. Like, I remember it myself, like I was there, and as soon as I heard that music, I mean, I went ballistic, like almost screaming at the top of my lungs, just like, oh my god, kind of thing, you know. Because when you go to WrestleMania, like, not only do you want to watch like incredible wrestling, not only do you want to watch incredible matches, you know, I think WrestleMania 33, the one in 2017, there was some really good matches, you know, during that event. But also you want those moments, you know, to be a part of. Like a lot of people have got their own. Oh, another cover. A lot of people have got like their own special fond memory of whatever WrestleMania that they've been to. Like, oh, another cover. Another kick out. Malenko is determined to get that 3 count. You know, everybody's got that WrestleMania moment for them, you know, whether it was if you were at the Sky Dome in, you know, WrestleMania 18 with Rock Hogan, or if you were there for Brock Lesnar's botch at WrestleMania 19, basically the whole of WrestleMania 17, you know. Oh, 2. Yeah, Malenko's definitely determined to get that 3 count. You know, I could list so many WrestleManias, you know, with like those incredible moments, but you know, when you go to WrestleMania, like I said, you know, you want that defining moment that makes you go like, I was there. You know, you look back fondly. Another cover. 1, 2. Oh, another kick out at 2. Jeff is definitely resilient, but that was also always Jeff Hardy's MO. Another cover. 1, 2. Ooh! You idiot, Malenko. But yeah, like, I think WrestleMania 33 it's kind of an underappreciated one, because you had a really good opening match with AJ Styles and Shane McMahon. Whoop. Oh, now that is slick. This is the end for Jeff. 1, 2. Yep, Malenko's free. And after all of the punishment that Malenko gave to Jeff Hardy, he finally got the 3 count and has made it through to go face Kurt Angle. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Main Event Wrestling, and this is the semi-finals and then the final of the WWF Smackdown Just Bring It Extreme King of the Ring. So, in the semi-finals we have Eddie Guerrero versus Steven Richards and Kurt Angle versus Dean Malenko. Sadly, Lita and Jeff Hardy got knocked out, so we weren't going to get a Team Extreme match, but we did get to see a pseudo right to censor match in the previous episode. That's pretty cool. Anyway, Eddie Guerrero, Steven Richards, first semi-final. Without further ado, let's get into it. You might as well call this Falls Count Anywhere King of the Ring, because this is another Falls Count Anywhere match. Guerrero and Steven Richards, and they seem to be in some kind of private suite. This could also be Vince McMahon's office, who knows. Right, if I wanted to pick a winner, I would like to go with Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero would be nice, boys and girls. It's not that I don't like Stevie or don't want him to have good things in life, but let's be real, Eddie Guerrero deserved everything that is good in life. He was a gem. He was a lovely, lovely man. He may have had some personal issues, but he was a lovely, lovely man. And now they've made their way out into what looks like the concourse of the arena. That is one giant carpet. That is something that you would see in most, like, I don't know, castles or something. Goodness gracious me. In an arena, let's just say you go to Madison Square Garden, or you go to, you know, the O2 Arena here in London, and you know, you're walking through the arena, you know, you might be backstage or you might be somewhere, and then you see this giant carpet that looks like it should be, you know, the great-grandfather of the magic carpet from Aladdin. You'd probably be questioning if someone had slipped you something whilst you weren't expecting it, because it just looks so damn out of place. Anyway, Eddie Guerrero, yes, gem of a human being, legend as well. We're not going to go through his whole, like, you know, accolades and everything. We're all aware. Multiple tag teams, US, Intercontinental, WWE. You know, he had, I think he won tag team gold in EC. No, he did win tag team gold in ECW with Dean Malenko, if I'm not mistaken. And I believe he won their TV title as well. You know, had an excellent career in WCW as well. So yeah, man's a legend. He's a Hall of Famer. Rest in peace, Eddie. You are missed every day by wrestling fans everywhere. We loved you lying, cheating, and stealing. Steven Richards, yes, you too are a legend in your own right. BWO, right to censor. You know, you never really achieved the same heights as a lot of the guys in the locker room, but hey, you know, you still gave us some, like, cool moments, you know. Just hoping that we never really, you know, just hoping that we never really have to put up with anything between you and Victoria ever again, because that was just weird. Also, pink trunks, it's a no for me. Just, yeah, it's just a no. But yeah, Eddie Guerrero, Steven Richards, Falls Count Anywhere, and it's actually nice for this, you know, type of match to have moved into a different location as opposed to just being stuck in one. But at the moment, they seem very happy fighting in the, you know, concourse of whatever arena this is. You know, I'm not going to give you an example of an arena because I don't particularly fancy it. If I was to pick one, you know what, I'll probably say this is Wembley Arena, so screw it. And Eddie's going for a very his very elaborate submission again. Going straight in with the pin. Ooh, only got one count. Steven Richards no selling like an absolute G, and then once again attacking Earl Hebner, but Earl Hebner let's be real, in these games, always gets in the bloody way. He does. He always gets in the way. Like, through my Here Comes the Pain season playthrough, at the moment during my Shut Your Mouth season playthrough, he's always in the way. It's just go away. You annoying, annoying man. God. And plus he'll never, let you live it down, or, should I say, never let you forget that, he screwed Brett and everything like that. It's like, go to hell. Go to hell. It's not that, you were, complicit in what happened to Brett in Montreal or anything like that. Oh, Stephen looking for an upset. It's not that you're complicit with what happened in Montreal or anything like that. It's just like, dude, let it go. It's been nearly 30 years. Like, just drop it. But yeah, again, you would wish... Oh, no, backslide. 1 count. You'd also wish for, like, many years that Vince would just drop it. But no, Vince would have to continuously just remind you, yeah, I screwed Brett, I did this, and blah, 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 blah. It's like, we get it, Vince, you're a scumbag. Anyway, back to the match. I've had enough of my little mini rants and everything like that. So, if I wanted someone to win, I'd like Eddie, but at the moment, it looks like it's going to go Steven's way, because Steven is just taunting away, getting all of the, little micro boosts and everything like that, before Eddie, can get again, unless you get a cheeky free from this. Ooh, Eddie's through. Eddie Guerrero is through to the final, and in our second semi-final, it is Kurt Angle versus Dean Malenko. This would have been a tasty match. What era would I have had these two wrestlers face each other in? Or, from which respective era for them personally? I'll make sense in just a second. Anyway, let's get into it. Who's going to face Eddie in the final? Say hello to Falls Count Anywhere match number 4, and we're in the parking lot. Right, so what I wanted to try and convey, what I wanted to try and get across in terms of era, was if these two had faced each other, I would have wanted Wrestling Machine Kurt Angle. So kind of, as people mockingly call him, Perk Angle, but Kurt Angle when he was at his absolute wrestling best. We're talking like 05, 06 level, before everything in his personal life was very slowly going to shit, against ECW, WCW level Dean Malenko. Before the injuries, before everything else kind of like, just made him slowly descend into the backstage role that he became a lot more famous for. I mean, if you imagine those two styles, of who they were, I think we would have seen an absolute wrestling classic. It would have been fucking beautiful. Like, honestly, it would have. Because Malenko was just so smooth in the ring. Like, the man could hook you up and everything like that. Twist you, bend you, hurt you in every way, every shape possible. Kurt Angle with his natural wrestling ability. I forgot that there were cars in this. So if they're positioned well enough, they could get run over. I wonder if Rikishi's in these cars. Mixed with Kurt Angle's sheer wrestling ability. Cover. Holy smokes, I thought that was going to be a cheeky 3 count there and then. I mean, are we looking at a Radicals reunion final between Eddie and Malenko? Because at the moment, Malenko is definitely, getting the best of it. But yeah, Kurt Angle 05, 06, that man was just fucking fearless. I mean, I know he was hocked up on a lot of stuff, but the man was fearless. The man would have, literally would have had a 15 million star match against Dean Malenko. Do I exaggerate? Of course I do. Because Dave Meltzer's star ratings, I mean, like, they've lost all meaning. Because the thing is, if you're given, like, you know, a 5-star rating, if that's your absolute max, that has to stay as your absolute max. Why go with 5.25 and then 6 and then 7? Because then, you know, when you put it into comparison of, say, like, other great matches, you know, whether you like WWE or not, you know, let's use one of the many, you know, let's use one of the many, like, Kenny Omega versus Okada matches, you know. Don't get me wrong, they're absolutely incredible matches, and I think Meltzer at one point gave one of them like 7 or 8 stars, okay? Alright, great absolute, you know, wrestling masterpiece. Oh, here we go. Is Malenko going to get the free count from this? No! Angle kicks out straight away at 1. But yeah, you know, great absolute wrestling masterpieces, you know, just the amount of agility, stamina, etc. that the guys gave in that match was just phenomenal, you know. But then when you have a look, when you compare it to, say, something like Shawn Michaels and Undertaker at WrestleMania 25, you know, and if I'm not mistaken, that got 4.5 or 4.75 stars, right? So you're telling me that, according to Dave Meltzer, Omega Okada is nearly twice as better, if you get my meaning, if you catch my drift, twice as better than Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. Because I get that Meltzer doesn't like WWE wrestling or storytelling or, you know, whatever. I get that. But at the same time, it's like, dude, like, that match was absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. You know? I remember when I was watching that, like, I was at university and I sat down and I watched it and I thought it was the most mind-blowing. I mean, in terms of ring psychology, ankle lock. In terms of ring psychology, storytelling, theatrics, everything that you want from that kind of match, it hit the spot. Angle's through. So Kurt Angle is through to the final, and we are going to get a very, very lovely rematch from WrestleMania 20, 3 years in advance, between Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle. Who's going to be crowned my first ever Extreme King of the Ring champion? Who's going to be crowned that? I'm also hoping that this isn't another Falls Count Anywhere match. So without further ado, let's crown a king. So yes, a hardcore match is our final, and it's a good thing that they decided to put this in the pay-per-view arena with the King of the Ring matting. So I just quickly want to finish off my nice little rant about Dave Meltzer and these star ratings. Basically, they hold little to no value if the man is willing to break his own system. End of story there. You know, I mean, full respect to Dave Meltzer as a journalist, you know, but for him to be the be-all and end-all in terms of what makes a great wrestling match, sorry, I don't respect you for that. Sorry, dude. I mean, a lot of people probably disagree with me, but the amount of fucks that I give equals 0. But it is Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle. These two faced each other for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 20 in, you know, I recently watched a video where Kurt Angle was actually talking about the finish to their match at WrestleMania 20, and Angle said it was about a week before WrestleMania, and obviously, you know, they knew that they were going to be facing each other and everything like that. And Eddie went up to Kurt and said that, hey, he had an idea for the finish of the match. And Angle, you know, being receptive, you know, was like, okay, cool, go ahead. So Eddie went ahead to explain. Now, if you've watched the match, you know how Eddie wins, you know. So if you haven't watched the match, this is what happens. So Guerrero said to him, okay, so what I want you to do is, like, I want you to put me in the ankle lock and really go for it. Then I'm going to get out of it and loosen up my shoes, you know, his boot, you know, and then you're going to come back, put in the ankle lock again, and then then I'm going to wiggle my foot out and then do a quick roll up, hold on to the ropes and win. Angle loved the idea, and the thing is, it's like, I actually think it's a genius way, because also I agree with Angle when he said this, because the thing is, it plays a part in Guerrero's lie, cheat, steal, you know, mantra, you know, his character at that time, and it protected Kurt Angle as well, because he lost because of Eddie Guerrero's cheating. And there's a cover too, you know, because he lost because of Eddie Guerrero's cheating. And you know, it worked really well, but then, you know, Angle said to Guerrero, but, you know, who said you were going to win? And Eddie was just like, oh, I just had this feeling, you know, and obviously, behold, what happened at WrestleMania was that Guerrero did retain the title against Kurt Angle, you know, and they did follow through that with that finish, and it was really good. And also Kurt Angle broke his neck again. Poor Kurt, can't catch a break. So, I always enjoyed it as well when Kurt did his, that was a very interesting pin. But I always loved it when Kurt Angle did his moonsaults, because he just managed to get so high. Oh damn, a cheeky 3 count. Well, I was not expecting that 3 count, as you can imagine, due to my exclamation at the end. But yes, Eddie Guerrero is the first Extreme King of the Ring winner. Congratulations to you, sir. Congratulations. You lied, cheated, and stole our hearts, as well as all of this. Because, you know, you might as well say that, yeah, you know, he was tugging on the tights or whatever, Kurt, you know, keeping him down for the 3 count, you know, again using our imaginations in this scenario. So that brings us to the end of this Extreme King of the Ring tournament. Thank you very much for joining me for these last couple of weeks, and I hope that you have enjoyed it. Of course, if you do, give it a like, share the video, because the more shares, the more views, the more that channel continues to grow, and the more that I get to do this for you. Subscribe to our -1 Entertainment if this is your first time on the channel. Don't forget to check out all of the other content that is currently available, because you never know, there might be something that you like. If you do subscribe, hit that notification bell so you are notified about any and all content that goes live onto the channel. Drop us a comment below, let's have a conversation about some of the things that I've been talking about, like the level of match that, say, Prime Angle against Prime Malenko would have, Guerrero coming up with the finish, my general rant about Earl Hebner and how he needs to shut up about Brett, you know, as well as Dave Meltzer, and, you know, how his star ratings basically are meaningless, you know, if the man is willing to break his own system. But yeah, let's have a conversation about any of those, and yeah, you know, I will see you next time for some more 1, 2, 3 count main event wrestling. Take it easy, everyone.